Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Now I wasn't actually going to make a video on this, but it's actually something that pops up in forums all the time. So I thought I'm going to address it and hopefully I've come up with the best solution for you guys. So if you own a Triumph Tiger Sport, you may have already encountered this or you probably are in the future. And the problem is down here. On the downpipes at the headers, they do crack. Now I don't know if you'll be able to see this on the GoPro, but right there they have started to crack. And as you can see, my headers are actually in really good condition. So yeah, it seems to be a massively common problem that these Tiger downpipes, they split. And yes, I'll be able to take that off and get that welded. If I find a decent welder, he'll be able to put a nice sort of bead background there and they'll be reusable. But the problem is, they just blow through again. It must be a very bad material that they've used. It must be a really bad steel that they've used. So, what if I told you you can buy a full exhaust, so downpipe, decatted, link, and a silencer, all for the best part of £400? You'd probably say, nah, it won't be any decent. Well, Triumph want £900 for a set of downpipes that may last 4 or 5 years at best. Let me show you this product I've got. And it's in this big box here. So I've paid £384 for a full exhaust. Yeah, you heard that right. £384. I did have a 15% discount with lextek. So now if you know who they are, yes, they are the sister company with Lexomoto. So you might now be thinking, he's got a cheap Chinese exhaust. Which, yes, I agree. It's cheap, it's Chinese, but let me show you something. Yeah, lifetime warranty. So before you go down to the comments and say he's brought a cheap Chinese exhaust, it will blow through faster than them standard Triumph headers, don't. Lifetime warranty for £384. So I'm not going to do any more talking. I'm going to get it unboxed. We're going to get the old exhaust taken off this and put on our new full exhaust system for £384. I honestly cannot believe it. That is just so cheap. So cheap. And Triumph want £900 just for the downpipe. Mental. So yeah, let me stop the waffling. Let's get these old headers off. I've sprayed so much WD-40 around the studs, so I'm just going to clean them up now with a wire brush and hopefully they back off with no problems. But just in case I run into a few problems, because that wouldn't be my first rodeo, I've already ordered some new studs and some brand new nuts as well from Triumph. So I'm just going to get my wire brush and literally go over each and every single nut, cleaning all of the rust off the thread. So that way, once I back the nut off, hopefully that's going to give its best chance at coming off without breaking the studs in the head. And I have put a lot of WD-40 in and around the studs as well, so hopefully that will stop them from binding up and hopefully it's penetrated through to give me the best chance of getting these crusty studs out. Let's start off with the one on the end here. Oh, wowzers, that is finger tight. So whoever did this exhaust, thank you very much for not absolutely dogging these up way past their torque points. Look at this. Oh, do not get my hopes up just yet. So far, very nice. Oh dear, that one, very tight. Now very loose, I like it. Because what we need to do is, I'm going to show you actually on the camera. So as I undo the nut, if it starts pulling the stud, I need to be careful, because if I try pull it out too much, that bit is going to get binded up on the back of the exhaust and break. So the plan now is to basically get all the exhaust loose, wiggle these, and then we can kind of undo them as we wiggle on the exhaust, and then that's going to stop them breaking in the head. This one looks nice and clean and ready to undo. Let's try that one. Again, that might be bringing the stud. Nope, Stud's not coming with that one, so that's good. So that's one nicely removed. Let's give him a bit of extra spray just in case. No, that is extremely tight. Nope, as in that will break. Right. Is just using a hammer and a punch and just giving it a little bit of a tickle. So we can hammer the 12 on there. Now, let's try keep this dead straight and hope for the best. Oh, she's budged. Very tight. Extremely tight. Bit more spray on her. Oh, the squeal of metal ready to snap. Right, perfect. That has now grabbed the stud on that as well. So happy days, we're not going to snap anything. So let's just back it out a bit more. So if you just follow the O2 sensor around, it just tucks up in here behind the water pump and it goes to that little plug at the back there. So if you get yourself a nice little long pick, you can literally just hook it there and then pull on the plug and it literally just unclipped. So simple. Let's follow it back around now. So now let's blast a bit of this in there. Let's hope that our sensor is nice and loose as well. Let's give this a few little love taps now. Perfect. And there you go. Now as you see, as we back it out, the wires aren't going to get all twisted up and mangled and a possibility of them breaking. As you can see, the plug and the wires are just nice and freely able to turn. And there's a 102 sensor with the wires still nicely intact at the back. So to make life a little bit easier, I'm going to pull this heat shield off here, which is actually bent. I've only just noticed that. And then we've got a clamp there, so I should be able to remove the clamp and then pull that part of the exhaust with the silencer off, just leaving my downpipes and obviously onto the headers there. So let's remove that. Yeah, that is actually, is it bent? Or is that the design? Who knows? And as you can see, it's nice and loose, but we have one bracket that goes up underneath our seat in the frame, and there's the nut. So it's going to make my life easier if I just remove these rear fairings. So let me do that. Honestly, sometimes the most easiest thing, like just taking a rear fairing off, which is only held together with a few of these plastic clips, but whoever invented these sort of things, they break. Just bin them off, use a little nut and a bolt, make my life so much easier. But anyway, we've now got that off so we can get to the exhaust, and literally it's just held on by, not them plastic clips, thank God, this bracket here. So undo that and then slide all that off. Let's get it done. There we go. I'll tell you what, it actually weighs a ton as well. Another bracket there. There we go, nice and easy. Oh, that washer just rolled into the oblivion. That's now loose on there. And as you can see, I can wiggle all that now. So that now backs the headers off so I can get my ratchet back in there and start undoing the studs. Let me carry on with that awful one up here. And there we go, there's not much pressure on that now. So we're able to back that stud out a bit more. Oh, that one's gone quite tight, but it's gone loose again, so that's good. Back them out some more. 12 and go back in for that crusty one. Oh, look at that. The crusty one turned out to be the loose one. And that should now be our headers off. There we go. Got to be careful of my oil cooler. So yeah, it's got to be much easier. I don't really want to put stress on the oil cooler line there and break it. So I might as well just quickly remove it, and then I'll be able to just pull them headers out. So now I should be able just to pull that line out of the way. And there we go. And then for now, I'm going to do that back up. There's not much oil going to come out of there. So to remove the exhaust stud, I've already put one M8 nut on, and then I go ahead and put a second one on. Right, so now we've locked both of them nuts up. I should be able to put the spanner on the back nut, and then hopefully just back out the whole exhaust stud along with the two nuts. And unfortunately, I've only got a GoPro, so I can't zoom in and show you, but that exhaust stud is coming out lovely. Now, actually, these do have Loctite on them, so you could get a bit of like a little torch or something and just put a little bit of heat on there to help melt the Loctite. But because these aren't super rusty or corroded, I can just back them out like this without them sort of pulling the threads as well. So very lucky that the exhaust studs are in good nick. It's a shame for the downpipe. So that's all the exhaust studs and the copper gasket off the engine. Now, I could have ran these round on a wire brush and reused them, but for the sake of £12 and a brand new exhaust, I might as well put brand new studs in, because if that stud was corroded a little bit more and I put the new nut over the top of it, you know, it's going to end up corroding that nut way faster and just ruining the exhaust. So for 10 more minutes work, let's put new ones in. And here I'm just using a bit of compressed air. I didn't want to blow your speakers as it's incredibly loud with the compressor running. But yeah, I'm just blowing out all the old Loctite, so when we put our new studs and Loctite in, it's all nice and clean. And as you can see, our new exhaust studs have a nice bit of Loctite on there. So we can just screw them in and basically follow the same procedure that we just did. So you could just nip up with a spanner, or I'm going to be extremely professional so no one can go down in the comments and shoot me. So 10 Newton meters is right there. It is literally not even that tight. They're exhaust studs, they don't need to be. Just like that, we've got 6 brand new exhaust studs and new copper gaskets, and it looks so much nicer and cleaner. So now all we need to do is just line the new downpipes up, get them in place, and just get a couple of nuts on the studs. So we're not going to torque them up just yet, because we'll want to get the rest of the exhaust on, get it kind of roughly mounted, and then we torque everything up right at the end. And then that's just going to make sure we've got everything where we need it to be, instead of torquing this end up and pulling the bottom part of the exhaust out of place. I've somehow managed to either misplace the instruction manual or it didn't come with one. I'm guessing it did. Maybe when I opened the box up in the house, I must have took it out to read it, and the other half must have binned it thinking it wasn't any important. So let me try to work out how this exhaust goes. I love a challenge. It can't be that hard. So this is the pipe that replaces the cat and then would head out towards our link pipe. So that goes in there. Now in the box there's some exhaust putty, and on there it says, for a new installation, apply the paste around the inside of the large pipe, complete and seal the connection before material is dry. So there will also be a clamp with that one. Get me Michael Jackson glove on. Oh, lovely. And then, yeah, let's just rub that all around the inside. That's going to help seal it. Put that to one side. And now we can put this on. Slide that in. Let's put our bolt through here. That's going to go that way, and there is this sort of like a donut gasket, so I'm going to put that on the outskirts of that one. Yeah, like so. Oh, maybe I didn't need any on this one. That was probably the whole reason of that donut, but it should be extra secure now. Wipe that one like that, and then let me get the final piece, because I don't want this paste all to dry. And here's our silencer. Wants to come out the bag. There she does. And then that's going to sit like that with, let's put that clamp on there. Probably just in your way here, sorry. So let's slide that over it. What way do we want that? Should we put that that way? Would it look nicer that way? Yeah, it should do. And then there should be that clamp then that will go up in there. Yeah, so let's now get some more putty around that one. So that's pretty much the exhaust. I just now got to go around and tighten everything up. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So of course the GoPro just decided to die right at the end, but the exhaust is all mounted up and it actually looks really cool. Let me show you. So of course we still need to put our radiator in yet, but as you can see the new headers look really nice. New exhaust studs and nuts, so really happy with that. O2 sensor back in, all the clamps all done up nice and tight. There's our link pipe coming up to our silencer. I think this is the RP1 and it's got a nice little carbon fiber cap on the end and it kind of actually looks pretty stock. And I've left the baffle in for now, but as you can see, look, I need to clean inside all these fairings, put everything back on and give this bike a wash because it is covered in dust and dirt. So let me get the radiator back in, let me get the bike all cleaned up and I'll see you outside and let's get this bike fired up. I literally spent hours cleaning this bike down. I really didn't know how filthy it was until I started washing it, but wow, look at it. It looks brand new, really happy. And that exhaust, it looks pretty stock as well, so super happy, I love it. Let's get it fired up and let's see what it sounds like. There we go, guys. The Project Triumph Tiger is officially done this time. No more hidden secrets. I've just went out on a quick test ride and yeah, it is fantastic. Love it, especially with the new exhaust as well. On the audio, it sounds like there's a bit of vibration with the baffle in, and that's just because I never checked it. I think it was slightly loose. It was just a little bit of a rattle in there. But with the baffle out, it is quite loud. You know, it's a sports tour. I don't want it to be too loud. I want to just be able to ride it for hours upon hours and just not have a drony exhaust in my sort of ear. So for now, I'm going to leave the baffle in, which, you know, it sounds beautiful. So I'm really happy with that. But if you have this exhaust on your bike, let me know what you think about it, and hopefully it does last like it says with the lifetime warranty. So next thing to say is if you've enjoyed the video, go ahead, give me a big like, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification because we have a new project video coming out very soon. We have an engine in pieces. Yeah, I've done it again. I've brought a bike I should have stayed a mile away from. So I'll catch you in the next one.